What would you think if I told you that the big beautiful ballroom was a distraction from what's really going on at the White House complex? Don't worry, I'm not revealing any state secrets. Every other country knows all about this. In fact, everyone, including you with any common sense, does. Or they will after watching this video. But before I tell you, I need to put it all into perspective for you. So, have you ever heard of the Greenbrier Resort? If not, let me just tell you that it is a historic luxury resort located in White Sulphur Springs in West Virginia. It's one of America's oldest, most iconic and storied resorts, often referred to as America's Resort. It was founded way back in 1778 around natural sulfur springs, which are believed to have healing properties. The Greenbrier has always been a big deal. You see, it's hosted 28 U.S. presidents, royalty, celebrities, and dignitaries. It served as a diplomatic internment site and army hospital during World War II. It is a national historic landmark with grand Dorothy Draper-designed interiors. It's got bold colors and patterns and a heck of a lot of elegance. This place is a big deal, don't you know? But here's where things really get interesting. Check this out. From 1958 to 1962, the U.S. government secretly built a massive underground bunker. They called it Project Greek Island, beneath the resort's West Virginia wing. It was designed to house all those highfalutin members of Congress, plus their staff totaling about 1,100 people, in case of a nuclear attack on Washington, D.C. It had dormitories with bunk beds, House and Senate chambers, a cafeteria, a medical clinic, a power plant, decontamination showers, and huge blast doors. In fact, there was one 25-ton door in a vehicle access tunnel. No one was getting into this place unless they were invited. And all this was kept secret for 30 years until it was exposed by a Washington Post article in 1992, leading to immediate decommissioning. Now let me ask you this. Do you think that the government never made another one? Or maybe many others? You know, around Virginia, West Virginia, and all around the USA? Come on. You know they did. And that's fine. Hey, look, it needed to be done. And still, sadly, needs to be done. Alrighty, hold on tight. Here we go. The controversy surrounding President Trump's White House Ballroom project has sparked intense debate, with critics decrying it as a lavish, self-indulgent vanity project inspired by the gilded halls of Mar-a-Lago. But hey, let's look beyond the headline, shall we? And all the renderings of a grand 90,000 square foot event space. Look it, the ballroom, while prominent, actually serves as a visible focal point that draws attention away from the broader, top-secret work happening on the site of the former East Wing. And you gotta trust me when I tell you that everyone in the media and all the politicians on both sides know this. So don't buy into their faux outrage. They're just yanking your chain and trying to stir you up. And if you are upset about this, then you fell for their nonsense. Yeah, you did. Look, here are the facts, and none of this is political, you see. So cool your jets. Announced in July of 2025 and funded privately at an estimated $300 million. The project involves demolishing the old East Wing, which was originally built as a small building in 1902 and expanded in 1942, and replacing it with a modernized structure. Now listen, you guys know how much I love historic homes and buildings, and all this nonsense with people screaming, "Oh, historic building, historic building." Give me a break. It was a freaky, trashy old building. I mean, honestly, this should have been done long ago, no matter who the president was. The White House complex has long deserved something more appropriate, considering its various important uses. Okay, so yeah, official statements emphasize the ballroom's utility for hosting large state functions without relying on temporary tents that they put out on the lawn. And the new ballroom will soon be able to seat up to 1,000 guests in opulent style. Okay, great, we got it. No matter how you feel about that, it's gonna happen. Yet, court filings from December of 2025 reveal another layer. You see, the Trump administration has invoked national security as a reason the work must proceed uninterrupted. And they got every right to do so. Listen, the Secret Service has stressed that pausing construction could, and probably would, compromise protective measures, with below-ground efforts ongoing and foundations set for early 2026. This isn't mere rhetoric. The East Wing sits directly above the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, the PEOC, the primary underground bunker that's used when there's a crisis. Plenty of news reports have confirmed that the bunker, dating back to World War II and last significantly updated decades ago, is finally being upgraded as part of this project handled by the White House Military Office. I mean, come on, you guys. The United States has the most powerful and advanced military and military bases on Earth. And the White House bunkers haven't been updated in decades? Come on, give me a break, right? We gotta get with the times. And so, heavy equipment for deep structural work, including steel caissons, has been deployed since November of 2025, pointing to extensive subterranean reinforcements. And of course, the ballroom itself occupies the spotlight. Above-ground construction isn't expected until spring of 2026 at the earliest, allowing critics to fixate on its scale, dwarfing the main White House residence and its resemblance to Trump's private estates. Meanwhile, the modernization of the East Wing includes unspecified security enhancements, as noted in filings where the Secret Service references classified details. Halting the project would leave temporary measures incomplete and hinder the agency's mission. So, what will be on the ground floor? While plans remain opaque, it could incorporate expanded briefing rooms, secure communications hubs, and of course, visitor facilities, practical spaces that blend public access with operational needs. And then you got the upper floors, above the ballroom. Those are likely going to house modernized offices for staff, including for the First Lady, relocating those displaced from the old East Wing. And honestly, if you want my opinion, I think the president should live up there. Yeah, I think that part should actually be a residence. It would probably be a lot nicer and more secure than the original White House. But then again, whoever said the president really lives at the White House anyway? Seems to me, and I could be wrong and probably am, that there are more secure places for the American presidents to sleep at night. But what do I know? That aside, the real value of the new East Wing lies deeper, much deeper. Upgrading the PEOC and associated infrastructure addresses long overdue needs in an era of evolving threats, cyber, drone, or ballistic, or all the above. Existing tunnels. That's right, you heard that right. Existing tunnels connect to nearby facilities like the Treasury, and enhancements could expand secure evacuation routes, command centers, or hardened shelters. And so no, this is not about one president's ego. You really got to give that a rest. It's about fortifying the executive branch's continuity of government capabilities for decades ahead, benefiting future administrations and their teams amid rising global risks. And so, critics shouting about a big ballroom for Trump miss this context entirely. This isn't about President Trump. The visible grandeur of the ballroom is a distraction from essential classified upgrades happening way below. These are much needed investments in resilience that the previous Old East Wing simply could never provide. And so come on, y'all. This is a volatile world we're living in. Strengthening the White House for all future presidents and the White House staff as a secure hub is not an extravagance. It is an absolute necessity. And people should recognize the full picture of the new East Wing complex, which is more than just a ballroom, before rushing to judgment. After all, and I'm sure I'm not telling you something you don't already know, but in Washington, D.C., most things are not as they appear. And the new East Wing complex is one of them. Yes, there will be a big, beautiful ballroom, but that's really not why it's being built, you know? It is a matter of national security. And we Americans should all be grateful that finally something is being done about it. So, what do you think of the new East Wing to be built at the White House? Did you fall for all that fake outrage about it and allow yourself to get stirred up thinking that this was really all about a ballroom? Or did you know that there is much more to what's being built that is vital to our national security? Either way, please share your thoughts about the new addition in the comments below. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com. Can you do me a favor and check them out and buy some awesome candles, herbal supplements, teas, and more? Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings and please do not harm them. And do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, especially if you're fortunate enough to ever be able to go to the White House as a guest, not just as a visitor. In fact, if anybody who works at the White House could get me an invitation for something, anything, oh my, I sure would love that. Please contact me. I'm very easy to reach. After all, there's no doubt the Secret Service is watching this video right now and probably watching me from a van across the street. Nah, I'm not worried about it. They know my heart is in the right place. Anyway, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.